The call came during the morning devotion. Mama screamed. She dropped her Bible. Papa sat down, staring at the wall. Neighbors gathered. The air was thick with questions. How? But she was such a good girl. I know you're wondering what happened here, but it all began in the quiet village of Umuocha, where the roosters' crows were louder than the town radio, and children fetched water more than they did their homework, lived a girl named Chiamaka. Her name meant God is beautiful, and from the day she was born, everyone in the village agreed that she was different. Not just because of her dimpled smile or the way her laughter sounded like bell, but because even as a child, she had a heart that burned for God. At age 7, while other children were stealing mangoes, Chiamaka was leading songs in the children's Sunday school. At 10, she could quote Psalm 23 faster than the village pastor. And by 16, people no longer called her Chiamaka. They called her Sister Maka. She would wake up before sunrise, kneel beside her mat, and pray so loudly that her mother often said, "Chi baby, God is not deaf. Biko, lower your voice." But Chiamaka would smile and say, "Mommy, the devil is, and I want him to hear me clearly." Her life was simple. She loved helping her mom fry akara in front of their compound. She loved singing in the village choir, and she loved reading her Bible under the mango tree with goats passing by like uninterested classmates. Even the local boys who tried to toast her knew better. One tried once. He said, "Fine girl, let me take you to the stream and back." She looked at him with Bibles in her hands and said, "My stream is living water. Can you carry that?" He ran quickly. Everyone admired her. Parents would point her out to their daughters. "Look at Sister Maka, be like her." So when she got admission to the University of Lagos, the village danced. Mama tied 2 wrappers. Papa sprayed her with the last 500 naira note in his wallet. The church gave her a brand new Bible and prayed over her like she was going to war. But in many ways, she was actually going for war. She hugged her mother and said, "Don't worry, I'll stay on fire for God." And Mama replied, "My daughter, firewood burns well in the village, but let's see how it behaves in the city." Everyone laughed, but behind Mama's eyes was a quiet worry, the kind only mothers can understand. And so, Chiamaka packed her bags with more devotions than clothes. The morning she left, the whole village was awake. Uncle Ifeanyi came with his keke to carry her to the bus park. Auntie Ngozi brought palm oil and gari. Even the village cat followed her halfway to the road before it got distracted by a lizard. Chiamaka wore her best skirts and blouse. Her mother had pressed it with hot iron. Papa gave her his old Nokia phone and warned her not to use it to be looking for boyfriends. "Remember who you are," Mama said, holding her face in her hands. Chiamaka smiled, her heart full of joy. She felt like David going to face Goliath, except in this case, the Goliath was temptation, peer pressure, and the city life. At the park, she sat beside a woman with a crying baby and a man who snored like thunder. But she didn't mind. She held her Bible close to her chest and whispered, "Lord, help me shine for you. I will not fail." She believed it and she meant it. But sometimes life has other plans, or rather, the enemy has its tricks. When she arrived at the city hit her nose before her eyes. Smoke, perfume, sweat, and something that smelled like burnt chin-chin filled the air. The traffic was mad, horns oinked like angry goats, and the Okada men drove like they had 7 lives. Her hostel was noisy, crowded and full of girls who dressed like Instagram was their job. Her roommate hadn't arrived yet, so she picked the top bunk, arranged her devotional books, and hung her rosalind by the bed. That night, she knelt down to pray as usual, but as she closed her eyes, loud music from the next room shook the walls. Shake it, bend it, whine am like generator. Chiamaka paused. She opened one eye. Father, help me survive this place, she said. Cynthia arrived the next day like a tornado. She's tall, loud, confident, with eyelashes so long they could sweep the floor. Her nails were like knives and her phone rang every 5 minutes. Hi babe, you must be Chiamaka. Nice Bible. I love church girls. They always have extra food, she said. Chiamaka wasn't sure what to say. Cynthia unpacked her hair, heels, makeup, and one small bottle labeled Sugar Baby perfume. We'll get along, she said. You pray for us, I'll slay for us. Chiamaka laughed, just a little. Cynthia was funny and friendly and somehow very cool, and that was how the door opened. It started small. First, it was skipping morning prayers because Cynthia needed help choosing between 2 weeks. Then missing midweek fellowship because they were watching a movie. Then a short skirt, then a little makeup. You are still a church girl, Cynthia said. You just look better. When the first party invite came, Chiamaka said no. The second time, she said maybe. The third time was a Friday evening. The weather was hot. Nepa had disappeared again. Cynthia was bouncing in front of the mirror, holding a glittering top that looked like it was made from Christmas wrapper. Babe, there's this mad party tonight off campus. Free food, drinks, and DJ T-Tunes will be spinning live. We can't miss it. Chiamaka looked up from her half-read devotional and raised a brow. Party? But it's Friday fellowship night. Cynthia laughed like she heard a joke. Fellowship? You are too fine to be wasting all this glory on church chairs. Abeg, just come. You won't die. It's just one party. These words, just one party. That night, Chiamaka borrowed Cynthia's extra dress. It was tight. She struggled to breathe. The mirror almost rejected her. But Cynthia clapped. Babe, you look like fire. Only fire don't take style. Turn hot girl. Chiamaka giggled, half embarrassed, half curious. At the party, the lights were wide, the music was loud, people danced like demons were chasing them, and they were enjoying the chase. Cynthia danced. Chiamaka stood awkwardly, holding a plastic cup. Then, a boy came up to her. Hi, I'm Flexi. You look too innocent for this place. I like that. Chiamaka blinked, smiled, blushed. Just one party, but something shifted. Her ears rang from the music, but somewhere inside her, a still small voice whispered, You don't belong here. She ignored it. After the party, it got easier. Easier to miss church, easier to stop praying, easier to laugh at things she used to cry over. She told herself it's just a phase. God understands, I beg. I'm still his daughter, just trying to enjoy school life, that's all. But the light in her eyes dimmed. Her smile was bright, but her spirit started shrinking. Her fellowship president, Brother Tunde, texted her, Sister Chiamaka, we miss you. Are you okay? She typed, deleted, type again, then left it unread. She told Cynthia, sometimes I feel like God is far. Cynthia replied, reapplying lip gloss. Babe, he's not far. You just walked away a little, but you'll come back later. Everyone does. But sometimes, later never comes. Flexi, the guy she met at the club. His name was Felix, but he insisted on Flexi. He wore designer clothes, shoes, gold chains, and sprayed money like insecticide. He calls himself an online entrepreneur. He's a Yahoo boy. He texted Chiamaka one evening and then asked her out to be his girlfriend. Chiamaka was a little bit confused. She didn't know if she should accept or not, and so then she sought counsel from Cynthia. Cynthia whispered to Chiamaka, babe, don't ask too many questions. Yahoo boys don't like that. Just collect the gifts and smile. And so, she accepted to be his girlfriend. And Flexi showered her with gifts. He bought her wigs, phone, shoes, rides in his Benz, with loud music and tinted windows. Flexi took her to clubs, restaurants, and one time a hotel, just to rest. But then, she lost her virginity that night. Afterwards, she cried silently in the bedroom. Flexi knocked. Babe, hope you are not doing drama inside there. I need to drop you soon. She smiled through her tears. I'm okay. But she wasn't. She was falling, and real fast. And she didn't know how to land. Chiamaka now had everything she once called worldly: Brazilian wigs, gold heels, a new iPhone, a new name on campus, small madam. She walked past her old fellowship mates and didn't greet them. They looked at her like she was a ghost in high heels. One sister said, "We are praying for her, the devil is trying her." Chiamaka heard. She laughed. "Let the devil keep trying. I'm enjoying the ride," she said. But deep within her, it was something else entirely. Late at night, she still prayed quietly like a thief. But heaven seemed silent. One night, she had a dream. She was standing in the middle of a road, wearing white, then mud splashed on her, then another, and another. She turned to run, but her feet were stuck. Then she heard the voice, "Come back before it's too late." She woke up sweating, but instead of praying, she opened Instagram and scrolled. The devil doesn't always come with horns. Sometimes he comes with data and likes. Suddenly, Chiamaka started noticing some differences in Cynthia, her friend. It started small. A new playlist, gospel song instead of club bangers. A change in Cynthia's laughter, a gentle way of speaking. And one Sunday morning, Cynthia wore a long gown. Chiamaka looked up from her phone. "You're going for a wedding?" Cynthia smiled. "No, church, real church. I gave my life to Christ." Chiamaka blinked. "Wait, oh, you? You care?" "Yes, me. God still wants me. Can you imagine? After all my madness," she laughed, but tears filled her eyes. "I was empty, Chi. So empty. The wig, the parties, it was all noise, but he waited for me." That night, Cynthia played worship song and prayed out loud. And Chiamaka stared at the ceiling, confused. She used to be the fire. Now she was the smoke. Suddenly, Flexi stopped replying her messages quickly. He started cancelling plans. He didn't pick up whenever she called. Then one afternoon, she showed up at his apartment unannounced. He opened the door, shirtless. A girl was inside, laughing. Chiamaka froze. "Who is she, Flexi?" "My babe, you are just, vibes." Her mouth went dry. "Vibes? But I thought You thought wrong. I never promised you anything. Don't catch feelings in a game. And just like that, he shut the door behind it. Chiamaka's heart was shattered. 2 weeks later, she missed her period. She bought a test kit. It turned pink in seconds. Her hands shook. Pregnant? She sat on the toilet floor, her phone buzzing, her heart sinking. She texted Flexi. He replied, "I don't know what you're talking about." She stared at her screen. And then she began to weep. She told her friend about it. And then Cynthia held her. She said to Cynthia, "I'm pregnant and he left. I don't know what to do." Cynthia didn't judge. She prayed. She cried with her. "We'll talk to your parents. You'll be fine. God can still fix this." But Chiamaka shook her head. "I can't. They will die. I will die. I don't want this shame." Cynthia tried everything, songs, scriptures, and encouragement. But fear had wrapped around Chiamaka like a wet cloth, heavy, cold, and tight. One evening, she went to a clinic. The nurse wore a tired smile. "First time? You'll be fine. It's quick." But inside, Chiamaka's spirit screamed, "Don't do it. Go home." She almost stood up, but shame pushed her back down. She was too ashamed to face the consequences. She signed the papers. Her last thought was, "Oh God, please, I don't want to die." It was meant to be quick, but something went wrong. Too much bleeding, too much delay. She gasped once, twice, and then Chiamaka died. At the village, a call came through during the morning devotion. As Mama heard about the news, she screamed, dropped her Bible. Papa sat down, staring at the wall. Neighbors gathered. The air was thick with questions. How? But she was such a good girl. The church cried. The pastor wept on the altar. A candle had gone out. Cynthia stood at the fellowship stage, eyes red, voice shaking. Her name was Chiamaka, my friend, my sister. I led her into darkness, then found light, but she couldn't make it back. She paused, breathing through tears. Please, if you are drifting, come home. Jesus is waiting. Don't let shame silence you. Don't wait until it's too late. Silence filled the hall. Then someone stood up, then another, then many. That night, heaven rejoiced, for so many souls were won. But one light was missing, Chiamaka, gone too soon. If you enjoyed this video so far, please like, subscribe to get notified whenever I release a new video, and don't forget to comment. Thank you and God bless you.